okay, on my way back, there are some things that I want to talk about. The first thing is Duolingo. Okay, Duolingo. It's famous, right? And it's notoriously famous to some extent. Don't you think so? Because every time I see people talking about Duolingo, they almost always sound like very cynical and they are negative. Okay. So, and most of them said that Duolingo is not effective. You can never be fluent even if you use Duolingo or something like that. So I tended to have this idea that Duolingo is an effective app, but to some why? I don't know why. Okay, I don't know why, but I decided to use it myself to see if it's really not effective. Okay, I'm gonna wear my sunglasses because my eyes hurt. It's too bright. So I started it 15 days ago. Okay. And why? What made me want to use it in the first place? I forgot. Okay. If I remember it, I'll talk about it later. Okay. And at first, I started using it free. It's the free version. You create an account and it's there for free. And I couldn't believe this in the first place because it's a very famous app, and I couldn't believe that you could use it for free. Why? Because it was easy because it was predictable because there are many advertisements here and there. It's so disturbing, and it's obnoxious, obtrusive, troublesome, right? So every time I finish one section, then this ad pops up, and until I finish watching it. But I tried something, okay, and which was I just left the app. I delete the app. I mean, not the app itself. Okay, it's still on my iPhone, but I turn off the page. Okay, just I don't know how to say it. Not flick, but swipe. Okay, swipe. By swiping. And then I open the app again. Then the advertisement is gone. And this new screen image, new lesson, my next lesson begins. But the problem was that I had to do this every time I finish one section. Okay. So it was very, very painful. It was a pain in the neck. And eventually, on my fourth day, no, not that late, even on my second day, I decided to apply or version up. I mean, I don't know how to say it. Pay for the extra. And now I'm super Duolingo. I'm on. Is it okay? I'm on super Duolingo. So my icon now is a very friendly face of Duo. At first, it was a terrible face of Duo, and it was notorious, right? People talk a lot about that bad image of Duo's icon, but now my icon of Duolingo doesn't look like that one, and I even don't know when it changed to the new version. Probably I paid some money to upgrade my Duolingo, and then they changed the icon, probably. And if I pay more to upgrade to my Super Duolingo to the Duolingo Max, then the icon again will be changed, I guess. I haven't tried this before, so I'm not sure. But okay, anyway, now I love Duolingo very much, and for the last 15 days, I have done it non-stop, every day. I never forget to do it because it's already important part of my life. It has become an important part of my language learning, and it covers probably more than 1/3 of my language learning because I love it so much. It's fun, actually, it's fun. There are many factors that made me feel this way. For one, I love the color of image color, which is yellow-green. Okay, now I'm thirsty. My mouth tends to dry so often with the retainers. Oh, by the way, I received the new retainer for my upper teeth today, and I just wore it inside the dentist. Now I'm not wearing it because it's too tight for me, because the older one was broken into two, and this actually made my teeth move a little, I guess. So that is why when I wear the newly made retainer, the very new one, then it hurts so much, and I couldn't speak properly. I tried it, so that is why I decided to take it off while at least talking here, okay, talking in this video, because it would sound terrible to you. And talking about Duolingo, yeah, I love the color, image color, yellow-green. And also, I love the character, Duo, very much. There's this very interesting character that my own daughter, creates, which is called Korota. He's actually a pink-colored bear, okay, not yellow-green or anything, but its nature is just like Duo's, okay. Duo is a very happy character, right? Very nice and very funny, amiable, and very, humorous and encouraging and funny and anything else. I love the image of Duo, but something very nasty is inside him, right? Like very vulgar, is it okay? Nasty, troublesome, and rebellious, and cynical, and just like Eric Cartman from South Park. I love Eric Cartman very much because of his bad nature. his nature, his character, his personality, persona, makes the story very, very interesting, right? Egg Cartman and Duo and Korota all have in common, okay? And I love that. So it's irresistible to me. I mean, just how Duo looks and acts in the app is just irresistible to me. So I love it. Okay, and I realized that after studying to use it, I realized that the Duolingo is a well-made, fantastic application to help you acquire the language. And some people complain that using Duolingo is too passive. This guy, who is American, I guess, he talks about how he felt about Duolingo, and actually he quit using Duolingo now. Which language he was using for, I don't know. Probably Spanish, I guess, or German or French, I don't know. But okay, anyway, he says that Duolingo is too repetitive. Okay, yeah, I feel the same way because I still don't know what will come next. There are tons of lessons, practices out there, okay? And I don't know which comes next. This makes the practice very interesting. Yeah, I love it, but okay, then sometimes the earlier lessons come out repeatedly, and it might make you fed up with it. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I feel the same way. But this is very important. I mean, repetition is one of the most important things, or even the important thing for your language learning. And acquiring a language is about this. It's all about this. Okay, so that is why, even though you understand it, your mind or brain says, oh, I already understand this sentence. If you want to speak the same thing yourself, then you have to force yourself to repeat the same thing even more and more until you fed up. I mean, you are fed up with it. So in this case, what Duolingo is doing is just right, okay? And this person also says that at a certain stage, after the certain stage, it's not enough to pick up all those words from the word bank. Okay, there are many selection of words you can choose from, and you have to pick up one to make the whole sentence, the example sentence or translation. And so, yeah, it's true. If you want to use it passively, you can just depend on all those word banks. It's more passive. So how you use it depends on how you want to use it, or how much you want to make it effective, or how effective you want to make it. At first, while I was using Duolingo, I thought that I might use it passively. I thought that was enough because I was not used to using the app. And although I have been I have exposed myself to Spanish language for the entire year or so, on and off. But I'm not used to translation, like translating English from Spanish. Entirely. I study Spanish in English. I never use my Japanese to study Spanish because English and Spanish are similar, closer than Japanese. It's much easier for me to study Spanish in English, okay? And it also helps improve my English. So that is why I want to make the most of my situation, and now I'm using my English to my second language to study my third language. And it's actually fun, and it's more it's simpler and it's more helpful. I love it so much. But I didn't do much translation. So basically, Duolingo is the one which gives me the opportunity to do a lot of translation work. And at first, I used it passively because when you acquire your foreign language, many people say that all you need to do is just listening, okay, which is very passive, right? So that is why I tried not to force myself to use Duolingo, but it's better than nothing. So I thought that why not I use it passively first. But while I was doing it, I was getting more and more used to translation work. And then instead of choosing the right words from the word bank, I always make a sentence myself, okay? Or if there's this blank in a sentence, and they are asking me, the app is asking me to put the right word, just one word, to the blank. At first, I always thought about that one word, okay, that I should put in the blank. But that was not enough now. That is not enough now. And as I decided to change how I do when I am using the app, and then anyway, I come up with the whole sentence in my mind, in my head, okay, first, and then try to answer the question, even though I'm asked to come up with just one word, but I try to come up with the whole sentence in my head, because I know that it's better, it's faster. I mean, it's faster for me to get used to Spanish language, right? I think it's more effective. And that is why I'm not using the app passively anymore. I'm using the app more actively now, and it's really fun. And I'm getting used to my translation work, something that I try not to do myself because I found it unnecessary if I'm trying to acquire the language. I didn't think it was necessary for me. But if I want to express my thoughts in Spanish, then I think I should do the translation work at least. And if I did this in Japanese, then it would be much more complicated. But English and Spanish are very similar. I think it's more helpful for me to do it in English. And okay, just as I said in my previous video, if you want to improve your speaking skills, all you need to do is speak your foreign language, your target language. If you avoid this, your speaking skills will never improve. That is why I'm trying to output. Okay, I'm trying to do as much output as I can now using the app. And so I try to make the most of opportunity or most of the application. If you use it passively, then you can get just a limited amount of things from the app. But if you are trying to make the most of it, then you can use it actively. Okay, it's well made, and the characters are very encouraging to me, especially someone like me who is learning the language all alone. I always study or practice my target languages alone at home, right? I have no one to do it with or to help me with my English or Spanish. But when I'm doing the app, there are many very friendly characters out there, and every time I did the right answer, they encouraged me and they applaud, they congratulate on me, on my success, and it's just fun. It's mere fun. Okay, it's so divertido. Okay, it's so fun, enjoyable. I'm so glad. Simply. And anything else. And repetition is the key, right? And review, yeah. So Duolingo allows me to review something that I've already learned, okay, repeatedly. And if I study Spanish all by myself, I tend to avoid something which is a bit troublesome. But the app always forces me to review and practice my weak points. And it's well made anyway. AI, right? AI is fantastic. I love AI. And anything else? Yeah, there are tons of good things about Duolingo, and I'm impressed by it. And I make it a rule to do one section a day, but it lasts over 1 hour a day. No matter how efficient I want to do it, it takes at least 1 hour to finish. And Duolingo has 8 or 9 or even more than 10 sections or lessons in one level or something. And there are more than 10 levels or something, even more, okay? Which means that if you do 1 section a day, it'll take nearly 1 year, okay? And I started the section 2, level 2, okay? Because level 1 is the easiest, and I didn't think that I should start the easiest one, okay? And I'm going to finish the second levels 2 in a few days, and I'm looking forward to it. But I try not to do too much a day, because I think I should use Duolingo as a supplement. So that is why adjunct, is it okay? Something we should add to our language learning. I don't think it should be the main one. If you consider it to be your main one, then what many people say on YouTube can be right, because it's just an application, and you have to listen to authentic materials too, right? You have to expose yourself to more authentic materials. But for me, Duolingo is a very effective tool, because it's encouraging, it's fun, it's motivating. I love it so much, and it gives me the opportunity to translate English into Spanish. And the characters are so fascinating, and their pronunciation is super, very cool, beautiful, and their expressions are, I think, natural. Yeah, there must be some unnatural sentences, but eventually you'll understand it yourself, right? So I don't think you should pay attention to this point. For the time being, Duolingo is okay. And another thing that makes Duolingo something exceptional is that there are tons of other languages you can learn with Duolingo. In my case, actually I registered Duolingo some time ago for my Chinese lessons, okay? And I totally forgot about it. But I've never paid any money for Duolingo. So this is my very first time to use it by paying. Okay, and then now I use 3 languages on Duolingo. I'm learning English in English, okay? And I learn English in Spanish also. But I was informed by the app that all the languages in the interface will be changed into Spanish. And this actually made it a bit dreadful, because I didn't know what would happen if it changed the language of the entire interface, I don't know, into Spanish. Or I didn't know if I could go back to the original state. So I once gave up the idea of learning English as a native Spanish speaker, because I am not a Spanish native speaker. So I didn't know what would happen to me. And once I gave up, and soon I just wanted to try it, to take a look at what would happen. But nothing happened actually. Yeah, the language of the entire interface changed to Spanish, of course, because now I am considered to be a native Spanish speaker who wants to learn English, right, in Spanish. Just like I am Japanese, for example, who wants to learn English in my own language, right, mother tongue. It's understandable, but it turned out to be even more effective to learn Spanish, not English, okay, using this language. I mean, okay, I'm now learning English as a native Spanish speaker, right? And even though I'm learning English, but instead, it turned out that I can learn a lot about Spanish expressions that are used for the app, okay? Because each explanation, each translation, each translation, and everything is explained in Spanish for native Spanish speakers. So it's not Spanish, very simple and easy ones for Spanish language learners, right? This is a key. And since when you use the app, many of the same phrases come again, right? And this is repetition, which is one of the even the most important thing for your language learning, right? And so every time I learn English and Spanish, then the same expressions come up repeatedly over and over again, and eventually, naturally, I can memorize or acquire all those expressions that native Spanish speakers normally use, right? So it's very effective for me to learn Spanish, natural Spanish expressions, and even it's more effective than when I'm using the Duolingo to learn Spanish in English. And I never thought about this before, but I began to understand it as I was using the app in Spanish. So that is why every time there's something that I never done before, even though at first it makes me feel a bit reluctant and scared, but I think that I should give it a try at least once. Then I will understand something that I I wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't tried, right? So, okay, Duolingo and studying. I'm using Duolingo to learn English in English. Okay, there are two versions. Why? Because native English speakers don't need to learn English, right? In English. But I really wanted to learn English in English. And I wanted to look for the way to do this on Duolingo. And there are, language sections. On the home page, home screen, okay, home, I don't know, the home, the home section. It's where, in every page, on every page, there's this icon of the flag of the language you are learning, okay? And then if you click on it, I'm talking about how to do it on my iPhone or iPad. Oh, actually, my iPad, I'm not using my iPad to use Duolingo because it stops in the middle of the learning process. And it happened several times back to back. And it gets frozen, right? And then I stopped using the app. But that was before I began to pay or upgrade to the Super Duolingo. So I haven't tried it now after upgrading to the Super Duolingo. So now I think I should give it a try at once. But okay, before, when I was using the app on my iPad, it stopped in the middle of the process, and then it forced me to stop using it, and it happened repeatedly. So I gave up using my iPad, and now I'm using the app with my iPhone, and the screen is very small, but it's not bearable. It's okay, no problem. And anyway, where was I? I forgot what I was talking about. Okay, Duolingo, right? Duolingo. And yes, I'm talking about how to change your language, right? And then there are many sections, and each section is for speakers of a certain language. Like on the top, of course, for English speakers, and there are many languages to choose from, okay? And then next, for example, French speakers or Japanese speakers or Chinese speakers, okay? And for English speakers, there are the most numbers of foreign languages you can choose from, like more than 30 languages. I don't know how many exactly, but okay. But for example, for Spanish speakers, there aren't as many, okay? And then if I want to choose my target language, okay, if I want to choose Spanish, okay, for example, English as my target language, I can choose English as as native Japanese speaker and as a native English speaker, native Spanish speaker, okay? But when it comes to English, native English speakers never want to learn English, right, on the app. So I thought that it was pretty obvious that I couldn't choose English and I couldn't learn English in English. But somehow, there's this one in the section for English speakers somehow, and I chose it. And I don't know the difference between that one and other English studying material for other language speakers like Japanese speakers, Spanish speakers, okay. Whether or not they're actually dealing with the same material, I'm not sure, but anyway, it's fortunate for me. It's unfortunate that I can learn English in English on Duolingo, and it's very fun. But for me, learning Spanish in English is the number one. Okay, my first priority. And the second is the one I can learn, where I can learn English in Spanish, because I can learn lots of things by doing the app, okay, doing the language. And then the third one is the learning English in English, okay. Yeah, and I don't have to pay extra money to have more languages to learn. So that's the best part. One of the best parts about Duolingo. Duolingo is very generous, I guess. And this morning, okay, I have been aware of what Duolingo Max was, because its advertisement popped up many times while I was doing the application. But today I watched a video of their presentation. It is the newest one, like Duolingo Max, the year 2024. You can watch it on YouTube, and it's a pretty long video presentation with many presenters, and each of them is dealing with different parts, and it made me curious about Duolingo Max now, much more, because their presentation was very understandable and easy to understand and very impressive. And especially this one called Lily. Lily is the character of the Duolingo, and it's a woman, and very cynical and sassy or saucy. But I love her very much because she is funny, okay? She's very serious, but she's funny. She sounds really funny, okay, hilarious. So it makes using the app very amusing, okay? She's a very important part of Duolingo. And if I apply for the Duolingo Max, then I can talk with her directly. And it's AI, yeah, I know, but it sounds like a real person, and it's really fun. And now, I still haven't made up my mind whether or not I should start taking English private lessons. But even before that, I could try talking with Lily, either in English or in Spanish, either way, because in English I could have a more meaningful conversations with Lily, and in my Spanish is not as good as my English, so I could have a more I don't know, simpler conversations with Lily. But Lily AI, okay, is very intelligent, and it's flexible, feasible, and it's amazing. It's just amazing. And paying about less than 2,000 yen for the app if you apply for the yearly subscription. I think it's worth paying the money, because it's very, very useful, I guess. I was amazed how great they have for the Duolingo Max. I never thought it was that good. It would be that good, okay. And I was really impressed by the presentation, the video. You should watch it. Then I'm sure, I'm pretty confident that you would want to start it right away. It's really attractive. It's very interesting. So I'm pretty sure that I will use Duolingo more often, in a more variety of ways, more actively, with more degree of anticipation. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about, and it's nearly 1 hour now, and my house is just around the corner, so I'm gonna finish this video, okay. But now, thanks to Duolingo, my language learning is more enjoyable, a lot of fun, and I really want to start speaking Spanish as soon as possible. Okay. Well, I was able to. I can be back. I arrived at my house safe and sound, which is good. And I'll check the sound again after this, okay, before uploading this video to YouTube. Okay, anyway, I'm so happy that I was able to practice speaking English today as much as I can. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I really hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye for now.